Questions 11 and 12 of your number mock exam concern ratios. Question 11 asks, Josh and Kate are given £520 by their nan. They split it in the ratio 20 to 26. How much do they each receive? So to start off answering this question, we've got to think about what this means. What this means is that Josh is going to receive 20 parts of this £520, and Kate is going to receive 26 parts of this £520. So what we need to figure out is how many parts are there in total. So we do that by doing 20 plus 26. That gives us 46. What this means is that this value, this number here, is going to be split into 46 parts and then apportioned to each person accordingly. So if we do 520 divided by 46, so we've got 520 divided by 46, we get 11.30434 and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to round this off to one decimal place, 11.3. So we've got 11.3. So bearing in mind that obviously this is still in pounds. So one part is worth £11.3. So let's take Josh first of all. So Josh is going to receive 20 parts, and each part is worth 11.3. So if we do 11.3 and multiply that by 20, we get 226. So Josh is going to receive £226. Kate, on the other hand, is going to receive 26 parts at £11.3 each. So if we do 26 times 11.3, we get 293.8. 293.8. A couple of things just to note here. We know that Josh is receiving 20 parts and Kate is receiving 26 parts because of the order that their names go in. So Josh is first here and then Kate is second. So Josh receives the first value and Kate receives the second. The other thing just worthy of note is if we take these two values and add them up, we should get this original value. So let's see if that works. 226 plus 293.8. So we've got here 519.8. Now, what's interesting about that is that it doesn't quite come to this value. What do you think the reason for that might be? Well, the reason for that is that we rounded this number off. If you remember, it had a long string of digits after it. So what that's meant is that, in effect, we've been left with 20p left over that at this point hasn't gone to anyone. Now we could be more accurate and figure out a little bit more closely what they'd get, but for the purposes of this exercise, this level of accuracy is absolutely fine, and they'll just have to squabble over who gets the 20p. Question 12 tells us that a recipe for soup uses parsnips, leeks and apples in the ratio 3 to 2 to 1. How much of each ingredient is needed to make 900 grams of soup? So again, what we need to think about is if we want to make this 900 grams of soup, and these make up the parts of that soup, how many parts do we have altogether? So if we look at this, we've got parsnips, leeks and apples. So parsnips, leeks and apples in the ratio 3 to 2 to 1. So in other words, we're going to have 3 parts parsnip, 2 parts leek and 1 part apple. So in total, we've got 3 plus 2 plus 1 parts, which is obviously going to give us 6. So this value of 900 is going to be divided by those parts. 900 divided by 6. So 900 divided by 6 gives us 150. Let's just check that. 900 divided by 6 does indeed give us 150. So what that means is that 1 part of this soup is equal to 150 grams. So what that means is that we now take this value and multiply it for each part. So let's take our parsnips for starters. So parsnips we're going to say it's going to be equal to 150, that one part, multiplied by 3, because we've got 3 parts parsnips. 150 times 3 gives us 450 grams. Leeks is equal to 150, that one part, times by 2, because we've got 2 part leeks, which gives us 300 grams. And then we've got 1 part apples. So that one's nice and easy, because all we're going to do is 150 times 1, and 150 times 1 gives us 150 grams. So those are the 3 weights that we'll require of each ingredient, and again, if we add those together, you'll find that that in this case comes to exactly 900, because we've not had to round anything off anywhere. So that answers question 12, questions 11 and 12 of your number mock exam.